What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another market update on recent sales for vintage Kenner Star Wars items. You notice I didn't say action figures because the vast majority of these are not action figures. I focused on loose, complete vehicles. I also included some diecasts that have sold as well as still available, and I'll include a link to the items that are available because they are tough to find. And I did include a few action figures, the actual action figures. I've got some 12-inch line that have sold and one last 17 figure. So kind of a different video, but I just heard from a number of subscribers that asked for some recent coverage of loose complete vehicles. So that's what I did. All right, so first we're going to talk about the 12-inch line. These were all opened in either unused contents or in really good shape. And so this is Chewbacca with a pretty decent box, a little bit of wear, obviously. Most of these boxes are pretty beat up just because of that flap. But this Chewbacca was still attached to the inner kind of liner. And this one sold for $215. The Luke Skywalker, again, unused contents. And the figure was still attached to the inner tray. And the box on this one was in pretty good shape overall. It did have a little tear at the top there by the racetrack, but really nice presentation. You know, the kind of thing that if you collect the 12-inch line, you put this in like a sliding acrylic case, and it really displays nicely in your collection. So that one sold for $202.50, which I thought was a really good deal, just given how tough it is to find him complete with the grappling hook. Next up was the Stormtrooper. This one was in really good shape. It wasn't still unused contents, but the figure itself was still fairly white, and I thought that was a pretty good deal at $229. Box was in pretty decent shape as well. $229 plus $12.50 shipping. Same seller had this R2-D2, and this thing was mint. Look how clean the dome is on that one, nice and shiny. Very good condition for this R2-D2. No yellowing to the body that I can see. That one sold for $179. That was one I think I sent this one as well as the Stormtrooper to my Patreon supporters. I don't know if they ended up buying him or not, but they sold pretty quickly thereafter that. But that R2 especially I thought was awfully pretty and in really great shape for $179. All right, we got some die casts that are very tough to find. One of them has sold to, I think, a Patreon supporter, and then there's two others that are still available. They are near mint condition. Look how clean that die-cast land speeder is. The windshield on that one is crystal clear. And these were mail-aways from, I believe, JCPenney. And you could mail away for them. They didn't come mint on card. They just come in like a baggie, or, you know, some kind of sealed baggie, something like that. And I've seen collector archive services display these, grade these inside of a case where the mailer box was displayed behind the diecast item. And so the land speeder did sell at $395, but the seller does also still have the X-Wing, and that X-Wing is bright white, near mint condition. That one's still available at $325. He just listed that one. And then here is the diecast TIE Fighter with the box. So if you're interested in either one of those, I did put links in the video description because those are kind of tough to find, and I've certainly seen them sell every few months or so for about this price point. So I think the prices are very fair, especially given how mint they are. It's very clear they've never been played with. The TIE Fighter is in really great shape. It's very tempting. I just don't want to have any space for displaying a big CAS box like that. But if you're into these JCPenney mail-away versions of the diecast, that one and the X-Wing are still available. Next up, we had the Sandcrawler, the Jawa Sandcrawler from 1979, radio-controlled with kind of a tatty box. It was advertised as still working, so that's the attraction there. And it was complete as well, which is tough to find. That one was listed for $1,200, and the best offer accepted on that one was $1,000. So they came off a little bit. I've seen as low as about $860 recently for a loose, complete Sandcrawler, but $1,000 is towards the upper end of the range. I've seen even higher than that, to be honest with you. With a box that's in really good shape with the inserts and all the contents for the box, you can approach $1,500 to $1,800 very regularly. So with this one, you're really buying the Sandcrawler with a tatty box that's working with the remote. Next up was the Millennium Falcon. Again, not a perfect box by any means. Used contents. The sticker sheet had been used. It did include the instruction sheet. That one sold for $400. Next up was a unused contents, or it looked pretty unused to me, Well, I guess it was used because the sticker sheet has been used on this one. But this is the twin pod cloud car with a really nice condition box, the US box, Empire Strikes Back, with the insert and the catalog. That one sold for $123.50 in an auction. The twin pod cloud car loose complete's not very expensive. You can pick one up in really good condition for 30 or 40 bucks. But to get it with a really clean box, that box was very nice with the insert, instructions, and the catalog. $123.50, a good deal in an auction there. Same seller also had the Tauntaun with the reins for the Tauntaun that were not broken, which is kind of tough to find sometimes. So that one is the closed belly Tauntaun with the box that was in kind of rough condition for $100. Good deal on that. Same seller also had the Empire Strikes Back packaging for the AT-AT Walker. That one had, again, used contents, used sticker sheet, and the chin guns were in pretty good shape there. That one sold for $227.94, and it was advertised as working. So very cool there. Next up was another one. This one was just the actual AT-AT Walker, and this was sold by Toy Scout. This one sold for $233. Very nice condition on that one. And then here was a third one that sold for $305. So 3 different AT-ATs. That's just an item that I had several subscribers ask about. They're all looking for one. And so I just included 3 different data points for those of you looking for it. Anywhere from $200 to about $300 seems to be the going rate for a complete AT-AT Walker. Next up, I also did have people ask about the Imperial Shuttle. So I found several data points on the Imperial Shuttle. This one was in pretty clean condition. The only thing you really got to look out for on the Imperial Shuttle, obviously, is the yellowing to the body. This is, the plastic on this really does yellow. This one looks like it might be slightly yellowed. Hard to say. It might just be the lighting. But that one sold for $320. Here was another one that looked to have no yellowing to the body. And this one also included the box, unused sticker sheet, as well as, some unused kind of baggy part, and the instruction sheet, as well as the catalog. So that was a really nice example. Now, this one sold for $512, and it was very quickly relisted for the same price. So apparently the buyer didn't pay. But, a very nice example there for kind of an unused contents. I don't know if the Imperial Shuttle came with, kind of a cardboard insert to hold everything in place. I would assume so. But this is kind of, I would call it more like partially unused, but really good condition for $512. And then here was a third one that was just the Imperial Shuttle. That one sold for $450. So lots of data points there for the Imperial Shuttle. $320, $512 with the box and unused sticker sheet, and then $450 with just the shuttle in really good condition. Next up, we had the Droids Side Gunner. This was advertised as complete. Very strange vehicle, but this one looked to be in really good condition. That one sold for $225, free shipping. I always liked the look of it. It was just kind of something that looks more in keeping with some of the sci-fi toys from the 1980s. But that one, it kind of looks like, Buck Rogers or something. I don't know. But very cool item. And again, $225 on that one. Next up, we all know how expensive the Power of the Force Tatooine skiff is. This one was advertised as 100% complete, stickers applied, with the box. The box was in really amazing condition. Look how beautiful that box art is, and just an incredible condition. It did have a tear right there, but in terms of presentation, this is a really nice presentation, and clearly the skiff was in good shape. Now, this one was listed for $1,200, and it sold for $1,100. So, this time last year, I would say you could probably pick it up sub $1,000. It was more like $800, maybe $900 for just the skiff complete with applied stickers. And again, in all fairness, this one did include a box that was in fairly good shape, but that one did sell for $1,100. Now, mint and sealed box, you're talking $2,000 plus. AFA graded examples, mint and sealed box, probably $2,500 to $3,000 pretty easily. So most people tend to opt for just a loose complete Tatooine skiff like this one. And again, that one did sell for $1,100 in a make and offer situations. And then finally, I did include another one that you guys asked about, and this is an R2-D2 pop-up saber, loose complete original, no repro, and it was in pretty good condition. The sticker on this one unfortunately had yellowed, which does tend to happen with these, especially if they're loose complete. kind of been sitting on a shelf. It's going to be kind of exposed to the elements, so to speak. And this is probably, I would call, in 75 plus condition. That would be what I would rate this as. Now, if it didn't have yellowing, I would say it's probably 80 or 80 plus condition. But yellowing to the sticker, most of the time, AFA is going to automatically ding that to about a 75 plus. I have seen some exceptions where these have been graded AFA 80 where there is very slight yellowing. It's very slight. This is not slight. I would call this moderate yellowing. And it's not heavy yellowing, but it's fairly moderate. The dome on this one was in really good shape, and you can see the yellowing there. Now, I might be wrong on that, okay? I'm not saying I'm an expert in terms of how this one's going to get graded, but I would guess if you sent this one in, it would get a 75 plus. Maybe you get lucky and it gets the 80. I don't know. But that one did sell in an auction for $521, which seems about fair to me, just given that UKG or AFA 80 grade examples will set you back $800 to $1,000 pretty consistently. So for those of you looking, that was really the only recent data point I could find for that one. So I did want to include that because a number of you have been looking for one of those loose complete. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at recent sales for mainly die-cast 12-inch figures as well as vehicles. And again, if you're interested in those die-cast JCPenney mail-aways, check out the video description as I included eBay affiliate links for those two that are still available for sale. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll be back soon.